Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. So today is my top 5 houseplants of July. And if you're not familiar with my top 5 houseplants, it's a series that I have on my channel. I show you 5 houseplants that have been doing well over the month. I show you basic care tips, where they sit in my house, how much I water them, how much light they get, just basic stuff like that. And then I do show you one houseplant that has not been doing so great for the month. And then I ask your tips, your tricks, or any advice you have on the plant. So let's get started with the first plant that has been doing awesome over the month of July. So this is my pink confetti Syngonium. I've had this plant for a very long time. It used to be a lot fuller than it is now. As you can see, it is down to just one stem, but it got mealybugs, it's had spider mites, it's been through the ringer, and this plant, I didn't think it was gonna make it. I did move it under my grow light near my other plants, and it seemed to really like that spot. It started putting out new leaves. This is one of the leaves that it's putting out now. I think it is just so beautiful. It does have a lot of pink on it, and it has another leaf that is unfurling here. I'm excited to see what that leaf is going to look like, but I'm just so happy that this plant made it because I really thought it was going to die. And it's such a beautiful plant. So for this plant, I water it about once or twice a week. I kind of wait until the soil is a couple of inches dry. I just stick my finger down in there and make sure it's, a couple of inches dry. This plant does now get a lot of the grow light, which it really seems to like. And it does, right now in my house, it's about 60% humidity. So I think it kind of likes that humidity as well. So overall, I am very happy with this plant. I'm so glad that it is growing new leaves over the month of July. And I just hope that it continues to grow leaves for me and just be the beautiful plant that it is. Okay, so the next plant on my top 5 house plants is this Philodendron Bipenifolium, or the horsehead philodendron. I have had this plant for at least 2.5 years. I bought it at a local nursery here when it was pretty small. I do have it staked up on like a cedar plank just because it was so unruly and it was growing all over the place. So it does have a lot of leaves on it. It sits upstairs on really close to my south facing window. This plant does get watered at least once a week, sometimes even more than that. It really does seem to like to be watered more often. Maybe it's because it sits right in the south facing window, but it really seems to like it. It is getting a lot of growth. Let me see if I can show you. A lot of growth up here. I'm probably going to have to get another stake so it can climb even more because this plant is just growing all over the place. But I absolutely love it. I think it's such an awesome plant. I'm going to insert a picture that I found from when I was probably, I'm going to say maybe 2 years old. It's me and my sisters, and it was so cool that I spotted the Philodendron Bipenifolium. My mom had it, so I just thought that was really neat, and I just absolutely love this plant, and I'm so glad that it is doing so well for me. So the next plant I'm going to show you, I can't physically bring it to the camera, so I'm just going to have to insert a clip. This is my Rapidophora Tetrasperma. I purchased this plant, I don't know, maybe 5-6 months ago, and I'll insert a picture of what it looked like when I first got it, but it has grown so much that I had to stake it to my wall. So I just got some of the Velcro tape and I put it on the wall, and I just put thumbtacks to hold the plant up so it can continue to trail. And it has reached my ceiling and it's kind of curved over, as you can see in the video, and it is just doing awesome. I think at some point I'm going to have to cut it down and propagate it, but at this point I'm just going to let it grow and continue to do its thing. And I just love this plant so much. It does sit under the grow light and also near the south facing window. It does get watered once a week, sometimes even less than that. Sometimes I do it every week and a half, just because it is in such a large pot. But this plant is doing awesome. I love it so much. It's such an easy grower, and I'm so happy that I found this plant and took it home when I did. So that is my Rapidophora Tetrasperma. The next plant on my top 5 house plants of the month is my Philodendron Micans. So this plant I did order online. I can't remember when I ordered it. I'm going to say like 3 or 4 months ago. And it was already a very beautiful plant to begin with, but now it has all this new growth, and the growth doesn't have like really big leaves, but I'm hoping that over time that it does get grow bigger leaves for me. But it is growing a lot, and I'm super happy with this plant. It does sit near my south facing window. It does get bottom watered once a week, and I noticed that it needs to be watered because the leaves will start drooping down, and then I know it's time to water it. I just put the little plastic tray underneath the plant, and I fill it up with water. I give it about maybe like 20 minutes, and it soaks up all that it can. Once it soaks up all that it can in 20 minutes, then I just dump out the rest of the water. I have fertilized this plant twice, and I think that's why it's doing so great and growing so many leaves. But I absolutely love this plant. It is absolutely one of my favorites, and I'm super happy that I found this plant, my Philodendron Micans. Okay, so the last plant on my top 5 houseplants of July is this huge Aglaonema. This plant was a lot smaller than this when I first purchased it. I did a repotting video, I believe, on this plant. If I did, I will link it above, so if you're interested in taking a look at that. But I did buy this plant when it was a lot smaller than this, and I have repotted it into this this pot. It does have new growth coming out here, and so I'm happy to see that. But this plant is really an easy plant. So I do water this plant maybe once a week, every week and a half. It does sit under a grow light and close to the south facing window. It is flowering. This plant flowers often, and as you can see, it's getting 2 flowers here. This is one of my easiest plants, and a plant that I would highly recommend for anybody. And I am going to do a plant care video on the Aglaonema, and I'm also going to do a video and take you around my house, and we're just going to count how many I have, and I'll show you the different ones that I have and where they sit in my house. Just because these plants are really easy plants. I think they're kind of underrated and overlooked, but they're really easy. There's so many different varieties, so many different colors, so many different patterns. I really do recommend this plant highly, and I'm so glad this plant is doing so well for me, and that is why it is one of my top 5 houseplants of July. Okay, you guys, so those were my top 5 houseplants of the month. those are 5 plants that have been doing pretty well for me. I'm going to show you one plant that is not doing so great, and it is this Aglaonema. So this plant was doing pretty well. It does sit on my floor under a grow light and close to the humidifier. But my kid's dog, I'll insert a picture of her in case you guys aren't familiar with her. She is a puppy. I think they've had her, I think they got her last October or November, I can't remember. But she is now messing with this plant, and this is the only plant that she messes with. She will come and she will try to eat the dirt out of it, and she has loosened these leaves, loosened the stem so much that this plant is now not doing well. So I'm going to have to move this plant and try to rehab it because it was once a very beautiful plant. But I think that I'm hoping that it will survive. I'm hoping that that's all that's wrong with it, is that she has messed with it so much that it's just not doing well. But this is my sad plant for the month of July. And I will definitely keep you guys updated on this plant, let you know how it's doing. And fingers crossed that I can get this plant doing much better, because right now it is just a very sad looking plant. So this is an Aglaonema. I don't even know, I think it's like white diamond, I think it was what it was called. But you couldn't even tell because it's so sad looking. Okay, you guys, so those were my top 5 houseplants of July. Give this video a thumbs up if you like the top 5 houseplant videos. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. And until next time, guys, bye.